Right, so now that we have the fundamentals of creating and reading data through Django, it's time to manage that data with a user. And this is actually pretty easy to do, and it's often something you would do way earlier than we have right now. In fact, I pretty much do this at the beginning of all my real projects, but since we're learning Django, I haven't done it yet because it adds a layer of complexity that we just didn't need yet. So what we're going to do here is we're going to jump into our terminal, into an activated virtual environment, and type out Python manage.py, hit enter, and take a look at the commands. And so the command we're looking for is under the auth app, right? So if you did the Django-admin command, we won't see the auth app, right? That's the same as the Python-m Django command. Same thing. We won't see that auth app. Now, when we actually run Python manage.py, we see the auth app, and what it shows us is this create super user command. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. So Python manage.py, create super user, hit enter. Now, in my case, it's actually still printing out that base directory, which is kind of funny. I do need to get rid of that print statement. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and create a user. Now, this is a development user. We are not in production yet. We won't be in production for a little while. But the idea here is you want to create a user that you can just mess around with at home in your development environment. So we hit CFE. That's the user I'm going to stick with. I'm not going to put an email address in here, and I'm going to use a whatever password. Now, you don't have to give a secure password here because you are just in development. We have no sensitive data in this project whatsoever, right? If you have any sensitive data, make a really good password. But the funny thing is, even if you made a really good password for this user, if somebody has access to write create super user, it does not matter what password you put in here, as we'll see in a moment. So we now have created this admin user. Now, what we want to do is actually take a look at the Django admin. We created this super user as in like the ultimate manager of the entire app. And we were going to go ahead and run the server. Okay, so now with the server running, let's go ahead and take a look at the admin, which is under /admin. Now, of course, this shouldn't be that surprising because in our URLs, when we were looking at that, we saw this path here for the admin path, right? So it's a way to just manage our Django project. And in here, I'm going to go ahead and type in my password. Again, I used a whatever password. And so now I see things that I can manage my Django project with. Of course, there's not a whole lot in here yet. But there is a users and groups. So users themselves, here is that user I literally just created. So if you were to create another like super user, you could just change this password right here, and then that CFE user can no longer get in. So in other words, if you are going to be using the Django admin for clients, then you're going to want to make sure that they have different kind of access for you. So let's go ahead and say, for instance, this is my customer. So I'll just call my customer, and I'll say ABC123 as their password. When I say my customer, I mean they are literally my client. I made this Django application for them. Notice that I can't actually use this really bad password inside of the Django admin. So this is one of those features that we'll come back to, but it's built into Django to make sure that, hey, we have good passwords because you don't want to give bad passwords. So I'm going to go ahead and give another one and say, let's see here. There we go. So I now created that password for that customer. And if you scroll down, here are those default permissions. Okay. And so super user status is what's going on here. Now, there are other permissions like groups. You can do group permissions and stuff like that. There's a lot more advanced things in the permissions that you can worry about, but staff status will allow them to come into the admin. And then in here, we can give specific permissions related to all sorts of stuff. Notice article is in there. Hey, that's pretty cool. We didn't do anything with article yet, but we can give them certain permissions that they have and don't have access to doing, which I think is also really nice. So by all means, fill that out as much as you'd like. But the general idea is if I was handing this over to another person that I didn't want them to delete me from the back end, this is where I'd give them staff status. Now, of course, I'm talking about production with that, which is still ways away. But the idea is you need to know that, hey, you can give someone access to this and it's not really meant for everybody. It's only meant for a handful of users, like people on staff that's going to be handling the website. Because really, when it comes to the rest of the website, if you're doing something that a bunch of users are going to use, you're going to not use the admin for that. Instead, you will actually build your own views and build it out to the way that you see fit. But that's a general rule of thumb. So at this point, now it's time to actually bring in our article model so we can at least manage that.